Hello winners. So I'm going to jump right into this video. I was driving on the highway and everything was fine. We were me and maybe 4 or 5 other people in front of me were driving like 65 miles per hour. And then we got the merging lane, the people that's coming onto the highway. We have them coming on the highway. So everything was fine. We're all driving normal speed the way we should be driving, and one of the people in front of me, like directly in front of me that just came on, they started slowing. They reduced their speed. I don't know if it was 50 miles or 45, 50 miles per hour that we were going from driving 65 miles per hour. So I'm like, okay, I'm usually a good driver, so it didn't bother me that they reduced their speed so suddenly. But my son was in the back seat and he said, "Oh, mommy, when you slow down like that, it hurts my stomach." And so I was like, "I'm sorry, baby, but if mommy didn't slow down, we were going to crash." So Maximus has never been in a car accident. He doesn't know everything that goes on when you get into a car accident. So he was like, "Next time, hit them." So, okay, going forward, I figured he's tired, because when Maximus gets tired, he does get cranky, and he doesn't want anything to affect him in any kind of way, shape, or form if he's not the one that's affecting himself. So I'm figuring he's just tired, he'll fall asleep. Now, as we're driving, we get closer to home, and maybe I got like maybe 4 or 5 more exits before we get home. Then another car, they're behind a truck in front of me, and now we're going 65 miles per hour. There's no one slowing down. There's no nothing. Everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. This guy just switches lanes, comes in front of me from behind the truck, and he was like, this is how much space he had between him and the truck. And this is how much space he had between me and him. He cuts me off and gets in front of me. And so now I'm like, okay, let me you know, reduce my speed to let him get away from me. Because when I see cars driving recklessly, I got to get away from them, or they got to get away from me. I don't like it. So of course I slow down a little bit, because we're still on the highway, mind you, and the truck don't know what's going on behind him, so he's still doing the regular speed that he was already going. I don't know if the guy was lost or whatever he was. He jumps back behind the truck, and then he jumps back in front of me. And if I would have sped up because he was gone, I would have hit him. Okay, so whatever. I'm looking behind me to make sure that there's no one gonna swerve because of how fast he jumped in and out that lane. It could have affected someone behind me. And of course it did. And I was like, "Ooh, God, please don't let them hit me, because I don't want to get hit. I got my son in the car with me. If I was by myself, fine, hit us, we get a new car. But I don't want my son to have to feel the effects of a car accident, the trauma behind it, psychological and physical. I just didn't want him to have that in him yet. He's only 3 years old. So, okay, whatever. Now, the guy's still in front of me. I'm like, I don't want any parts of this dude. I don't know what's wrong with him. Once I see him speed up, like he's in the body area of the truck, I'm like, okay, now I can go over to where the truck is and get behind the truck, because he's not gonna come over here. Y'all, I get behind that truck. The truck speeds up. I don't know what happened with the truck driver. Maybe he finished his food, whatever was going on. He starts speeding up like super fast for a truck of his size. And so I'm like, yes, let's get home. And I almost started to go against the speed limit. Now, I have this thing where now I have to do my speed limit, because I found myself doing like 90 miles per hour, and it was 55 miles per hour that I should have been going. And that was scary to me, because I was super duper comfortable doing it. Like, I felt like I was still doing 60. And so I've been keeping track of how fast I've been going. So I'm like, okay, he could do whatever he wants to do, but I'm going to still do the speed that I'm doing, because I have to be accountable for myself, right? So the dude, now he's not in the body of the truck anymore, in the left lane. He can swing back over if he wants to. And that's exactly what he does. He swings back over, no blinkers at all. He is not indicating to nobody where he's going. I don't even think he know where he's going. So he comes back in my lane, and I'm just like, bruh, I can't be behind this dude. He is bugging. I can't be behind him. I cannot. And so it's making me uncomfortable to be behind him because he's driving like a fool. He is being reckless. So I put my indicators on and I get back in the left lane where I was originally before old dude cut me off to begin with. And so I get back in my lane, and then because I was like sort of confused and bothered by his driving, I sped up. I beeped at him. Like, I sped up to where he was to level my car with his. I beeped at him, and I kept the car driving the same speed that he was going, so we're like right next to each other. Yes, I'm beeping at you because you're driving like a crazy person. And then after that, like, good 10 seconds of me driving like that with him, I continued to go where I needed to go. I sped up. I got in front of the truck that was originally in front of us, and then I got over a few other lanes because I was like, let me get off this highway because now I'm upset. I don't want to be on the highway no more. And so I say all of that to say this to you guys. Number one, my son, he was very bothered by what was going on. There are going to be times that you are bothered by something and it's going to hit you physically. You're going to be so bothered by the stress in your life that you're going to become tired. It's going to make you have acne or breakouts. You're going to want to rest, or it's going to affect your rest. It's going to affect your eating. Maybe you'll start binge eating, or you won't be eating enough. When things are happening in your life, it affects your body. Okay, your physical body, your flesh and blood, it affects you. And then it's going to begin to affect you mentally. You're going to start thinking too far deep into things, or you're going to start being like, I don't want to think about anything. And so when we start doing that, we start to go back into bad habits. We say, I don't want to think about it, let me get a drink. I don't want to think about it, let me go smoke a blunt. I don't want to think about it, let me call up such and such. He always knew how to take things off my mind, if you understand what I'm saying when I say that. And so when we get to those places, like Maximus was so through with me slowing down abruptly. He was so through with it. You're going to get to a place where you are so through. And what you need to do is get on your knees. You should already be in a place where you're praying constantly, praying. But when you become stressed, that prayer is going to get you through. That praise is going to get you through. Praising God is not for God. It is for us. He deserves all the praise. But that praise, it does something to the atmosphere. It does something to you internally. It touches something inside of you, and it's like, I got something to praise God about. I am breathing. I'm alive. I woke up to my children being alive. It's going to do something to you spiritually. Praise God. Worship the Lord. Get into a place of prayer. Deep, concentrated, and focused prayer. Okay? And when you're praying, don't just talk. When you get into that place of prayer, you want to hear from God. So make sure that you are having quiet time with God so you can hear from Him, especially when you're stressed out. Because sometimes we get so stressed out we don't hear anything because everything around us is taking over. Okay? And then the second thing I want to say from this whole highway ordeal is, yes, it is something that normally happens, but while it was happening, something was clicking in me. Like, I started to get a revelation. You have to be aware of what is going on around you, spiritually, physically, with your circle. You have going on around you. The devil, he does things in this atmosphere. It's like, why am I struggling so much with my spouse? Why am I in all this conflict right now? And you'll start thinking, maybe I don't need to have such and such in my life. No, you need to pray. You need to be aware that the devil he is not going to stop trying to fight you on every side. Why am I dealing with so much craziness with my children? All these things, it's tests. and you're going to go through them. And while you're going through them, there was a time in the story that I was just telling you where I got so mad, where I was like, I want you to know that I'm mad at you. And I beeped the horn, and I drove with him. No, don't get on the devil's level. Do not get on the devil's level, and do not get on your stresses level. Whatever is stressing you out, don't get on the same page as it. You need to be on the page with the Lord. Whatever God is telling you to do, that's what you need to be doing. God told me to watch how I'm driving on the road. So that's what I was doing. God did not tell me to be combative with other drivers because they driving crazy. That was of Tisha. Okay? So that is all I wanted to say to you guys today. It took me 10 minutes because 5 of those minutes was the story, and 5 of them was my revelation. My winning revelation, okay? Um, and so I just wanted to drop those nuggets, those golden nuggets, to you guys, and I hope that somebody caught on to them. And then I wanted y'all to check out my baby locks. I love them. I love them. And yes, I call them baby locks all the time. I love my baby locks. I love my glasses. And I love my shirt that says, "Take the high road." And I made this shirt. It says, "Take the high road." And that just means that do not beep at people when they're upsetting you. Take the high road. Be a better person. Be a bigger person. All right, you guys have a winning day. Enjoy the remainder of your week. Today is Thursday. I love you guys. Bye-bye.